Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to NAGP, the home of North America's finest sim racers. Welcome to Thursday Night Racing. GT1 action here. Jack Ivy, I'm going to be in the broadcast booth tonight. We're coming to you from Mugello, Italy. And the driver is just getting set to take the track for qualifying. Looks like we've got some rainy conditions out there, which will be very interesting. This is a very, very tricky course. But as they're going out just to start this qualifying, we'll just watch drive around with Al there for a second. Last week, round 2, Monza. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Monza. Where do we start here? Alex White. Took the win last week at Monza with John Sportelli in the number 2 spot and David Poole in the number 3 spot. We had 12 DNFs tonight. For tonight's race, Alex White's going to be carrying 40 kilos. John Sportelli's going to have 30. David Poole's going to have 20. Although Alex White is subbing in for David Poole, so Alex is going to be carrying 40 kilos. Brad Merys has got 20 and Rich Roman got 20. And that is from Monza. Now we do have some penalties from Monza. First lap, Christian Hamilton, no qual. And we've got a couple of incidents on the first lap. Sale and Montgomery got in the back of Parsons, spinning him around, and John Wathan gets in the back with Al Merriman. No penalty there. Timestamps, we had a couple of submissions to timestamps. Paul Hall versus Thomas Schubeck. They had an incident. Unavoidable contact, no penalties. Rich Roman versus Marty Uran at timestamp 43:40. This is interesting. Penalty, none. And then at 43:55, Marty Uran versus Rich Roman. Which, entering into the Ascari chicane, Roman gets in deep behind Uran in a lap car and takes evasive action to avoid contact, veering into the grass and left. Contact is made to Marty when Roman rejoins the racing surface, spinning Uran off in the sand. Marty lost 2 positions and Roman didn't wait for him. So, Rich Roman is going to be carrying 20 kilos. Juan Monroy has got a warning for connection issues. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see where that runs out. So that takes us to Mugello. Let's jump on board with some of the guys here, see if they're... Here we go, Mr. Parsons. Aaron Parsons driving the number 39. McLaren F1. One half of TK broke damn bam. Now, interesting. GT1 after round 3, Brad Merys is in the Drivers' Champion lead with Rich Roman in 2nd, David Poole in 3rd, and David is absent tonight, so that's going to play into it. Sportelli is in the 4th spot. Alex White, who is running as a substitute driver in GT1, is still carrying 26 points. This Alex White's pretty dangerous anytime. Teams. Anger Racing is 76. T. Broke Damn Bam at 47. H&C Racing at 38. 05 Motorsports with 37. And Precision Motor Racing with 31. Now, Mugello. Aaron Parsons has 2 wins. They've run here 3 times. David Raleigh has 1 win. Now, Parsons is being listed as the odds-on favorite to take this one, but I'll tell you right now, here's some drivers we're going to have to keep an eye on. Brad Merys, David Canavan, Moses, Wathan, Roman, Prado, and Big Al. I want you to really keep an eye on Big Al because he was showing some great speed in early practice. So, let's take a look at the leaderboard here and see where we are. Parsons just nipped Canavan's heels there to get in first. not by much, by about 3/100ths of a second. I see we've got some viewers up there. I hope we get everything going to your satisfaction tonight. I hope we've got all the glitches all figured out. But we're going to keep our fingers crossed anyway. So there you go. Parsons, Canavan, Moses, Roman, White, Alex Scott up there in P6, and Greg Myers in P7. So the normal culprits that I expected to be there. Big Al Merriman has yet to put a time in. I'm going to jump on board with Al because he was looking really speedy earlier on. So let's just take a look at Big Al as he starts his hot lap. Now this Mugello, 14 turns. Big, fast, right swooping hander here, and this is a tough one here. The San Donato coming into, and they got a little bit of a left-hand turn, and these are off-camber turns too, really tough, and a right-hander to follow that. A little short straight coming up, big to get the power down, then into a left-hander, and again back into a right-hander coming up to the split. Let's see how he does. Whoa, and he is mowing some grass. He had a pretty good time going there, but has messed that one up. Brad Merys, another driver I want to keep my eye on tonight. Let's see how he's doing. He's coming around to finish his lap now. Brad Merys in the Celine S7R. Not quite fast enough, but good enough for fourth place. Andre Prado, teammate to Brad. This is one half of Anger Racing. Boy, these guys got a heck of a team. Longtime teammates, great drivers, and are in hot in the team championship there. In fact, they're about 30 points out in front of everybody else. Chris Moses in the big Ford GT. About 3/100ths off the first sector. Big thanks out there to Chris, who keeps this NAGP Monday and Thursday night racing series going. Just a little shout out there, just in case. Alex White, if your dad is out there watching us, a big hello from Alex to his dad. Welcome to NAGP. We'll try and get your son in on the action there and let you know how he's doing. Coming up to the split time for Chris Moses. Big bobble there from Chris as he tries to get that power down to the ground in the Ford GT. To the big left-hander, and this is a tough corner. It's almost like two corners in one. A big slide by Chris, but he hangs on to it. Another bobble, another one. Boy, really pushing here. Down to finish himself out. And he's going to stay in P6. Roman in P7, Rally in P8. Greg Myers in P9, Alex Scott in 10. Mr. White, if you're out there, let's see if we can grab your son. There he is, P3. On board with Alex White, subbing in tonight. He's subbing in for David Pohl in one half of 05 Racing. And the P3 is looking pretty good right now. Let's jump on board with Alex White. This will give you a good view of what that I was talking about, some of those off-camera corners. Took a few laps around here in the early practice this evening, and it is not an easy track to navigate. But boy, I'll tell you, it sure looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking for some of the rivalries to continue. continue on as we're into round 3 of Thursday night GT1 racing. Down to the finish. Alex White up to P2. Good on you there. Boy, oh boy, that guy could drive the wheels off of anything. Canavan, our tricky little Irishman. It's one of the guys I said we're going to have to keep our eye on. And we definitely will. Andre Prado. Well, there's another one I said we had to keep our eyes on too. Prado and Merys. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. They're sure liking this Celine. Well, NAGB. We're running 3 series of racing this year. We've got Monday night GT2, Thursday night GT1, and Saturday night. The iRacing series is now underway. So if you're interested in joining up, grab a wheel, get in touch with one of the admins, and give us a holler. Love to have you out. There's always room for one more. And if you don't feel like racing, that's fine too. Tell your friends, come on and watch. We got some great action here going on in the broadcasts, and I got to thank people for tuning in and watching. Prado now in P1. Let's go over the scoreboard and take a look at the times. The last poll here was a 141.370. We're going to be nowhere near that because we're in wet conditions. 149.020. We have got the track's fairly warm at 97 degrees, but conditions are damp. Forecast is overcast and rainy, and the conditions are overcast and rainy. Hence, we're about 8 seconds off the dry track pace. If it stays wet like this, it will be a race to finish, as these guys hold nothing back. Looks like we've got 27 drivers out tonight, and when we get around to Quali 2, anybody left that needs to join in can get their mechanics and crews going and get out there on the track. Right now it looks like Andre Prado with almost half a second over Alex White. Rich Roman, Canavan, Parsons, Merys, Juan Monroy in a P7, Andre Cole in a P8, Chris Moses and Alex Scott. Good on Alex. Well, as I said, we might have Mr. White join us, so let's just jump on board and see if Alex can steal away a little bit more time. Track's still looking very slippery out there. Coming up to his sector split time, and about 700ths off the pace, and Alex has dropped to P4. Parsons has taken P4, dropped Alex to P5. Prado in P3. Andre Cole has jumped up. Man, oh man, where has this guy come from? And driving a McLaren. Andre Cole in the McLaren, one half of H&C Racing. Shouldn't be all that surprised. H&C is in 3rd place in the team championship. And in there with Rich Roman in 1st. Wow. So it looks like H&C Racing has got this wet track figured out. Now, who is going to come back to challenge that? They just run them down. Andre Cole in 2, Prado in 3, Alex White in 4, Chris Moses up to P5. Aaron Parsons slipping back to P7 now. Moses up to 6, down to 6. Alex Scott in 5, White in 4. So, Alex Scott has jumped up to P5. Canavan in 8th, coming up to, he's just starting a hot lap here. Brad Merys coming around, P9. And Brad Merys has set the new fastest lap at 1:47.692. And Brad Merys provisionally on the pole right now. Attaboy, Brad. Now, Brad, I gotta say, is one of our driving instructors. Anybody need any help out there, give a shout out to Brad. And hey, Brad, just in case you happen to watch the broadcast again, I need some serious help for Monday nights. So let's run them back down again. Merys, Roman, Cole, Prado. So the Anger Racing Team 1-4. Alex White in 5. Oh, and Alex punches it out. I hope the mechanics can get that fixed up in time. Alex White in P6. Moses 7. Parsons 8. Juan Monroy in 9. Big Al Merriman in 10. But keep your eye on him. He was showing some great speed in the pre-race practice. David Canavan, the crafty little Irishman, in P11. Marco Conti, our colorful Italian based out of California, in P12. Andrew Werner, one half of the 05 Motorsport team. And Marty Uran, our senior statesman out of California, in P14. Douglas in 15. Mike Greatrix in 16. David Rowley, the last time we were here, season 15, David Rowley was the winner in P17. Trying to get a handle on this Koenigsegg and this wet track. Gregory Myers in P18. Johnny McIntyre in P19. John Waffen. Hey, a little shout out, John. Thanks for the tips. Trying to work the bugs out of that big Ford GT, Doran Ford, but not having much luck. Sam Rolfe in P21. Lauren Weisman in P22. And Ian Joliker in P23. Ian, a local boy here in Canada, just down the road from Mosport Raceway. Let's stay on board here with Ian and see if he can get a handle on that big Aston Martin. One half of MCAN Racing. Teamed up with John Waffen. And good on you, Ian. You still have time to grab a couple more laps, but that put them up to P11. A little bit of traffic there. That's not going to help you out. Let's just hang in here and see how bad that slowed them down for that first sector. And I think, oh, and there goes the front clip off of that one. So, Al Merriman in P10, Juan Monroy in 9, Parsons up to P8, Chris Moses in 7, Alex Scott in Maserati, I believe. Alex White in P5. Alex White doing a superb job. I hope, Mr. White, you're watching tonight. The start of this race will be very interesting. Andre Cole in P4. Andre in the Celine. Andre in the McLaren F1, sorry. Rich Roman in the McLaren as well. And Parsons has jumped up to P4. Canavan into P3. Prado into P2. And Brad Merys on the pole. Well, boy, oh boy, that Anger Racing is just going to have a stranglehold. if they can maintain positions for this race, that team is going to run away with a very commanding lead. They've almost doubled T-Broke Dam Bam in points so far this year. Good on yous. What a dynamic team. Well, we've only got about 5 minutes left in qualifying, and it sure has been interesting. Just about all the drivers that I thought were going to be ones to watch are there. Merys, Prado, Canavan, Parsons, Andre Cole. A little bit of a surprise there, Andre. Sorry, but I didn't pick you up to be that high, but good on you. Rich Roman, Alex White, Alex Scott. Alex, you got a great drive there, a great starting position. P8 is great. Chris Moses, Juan Monroy, and Big Al Merriman. Ian Joliker up to P12. Rally has now pulled his socks up to P13. Greg Myers in 14, Werner 15, Connie 16, Weisman 17, Douglas 18, Johnny McIntyre 19, Marty in P20, Watson in 21st, Great Tricks 22nd, Rolf in 23rd, Sergio Calderon in 24, Chris Jackson in 25. Let's jump on board with Chris Jackson. And he is in the 24 car. The Lamborghini. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Chris might be subbing in for Paul Hall tonight. I didn't get a heads up on that, but that would be my guess. So we've got Chris Jackson in for Paul Hall. Good on you, Chris. Hang in there, buddy. Jacob Carpati in P26. Jacob driving a 575 Ferrari. Christian Hamilton in 27th. There you go, race leader, Leonard Prado. Jump on board with Andre. Brad Merys, dynamic duo in Anger Racing, driving the Celine S7R, 623 horsepower at 6,400 RPM. Car weighs in at 1,190 kilograms, a 7-liter V8, and they're running on Pirelli tires. A fairly good ground pounder, 785 pounds of torque at 5,000 RPM. These two are going to be tough if they can go out 1-2. Last minute left in qualifying. Enough time for everybody to get one lap in. Brad Merys on a hot lap here. Coming around the final Puccini turn. This is a tough, tough turn. On the power down the straight. Chris Moses coming around for his. Up to P3 for Chris. Good jump there, Chris. See, maybe the line's drying out a little bit. These guys have picked up a few seconds over the earlier qualifying times. Big Ford Power coming down. Hangs on to P3. Canavan, P4. Rally up to P5. He's really stepped up the game here. Sorry folks, I'm nursing a bit of a cold here. Sound like I got frogs in my mouth, but we'll tough it out. We'll get through. Coming through now. David Rally. Still hanging on to P5. Aaron Parsons coming around to finish his hot lap. If he's got time to get it in, we will see. It's looking pretty decent, folks. P4 for Mr. Parsons. Canavan in P5. Well, I don't know if Ian's going to have enough time to get this lap in before the session switches over. But he's given it, and not, and that's it. So, back to the grid. You can see it is raining out there. Going into Q2. We'll see if we got any late joiners coming up. Well, this is going to be an interesting race tonight. All of them have been very interesting, actually. Competition is fierce, but it's never too fierce that we couldn't handle some more drivers. Geez, I see I've got some viewers here who are throwing up some comments, and I got to apologize to you viewers that my eyesight is failing so bad. It is really hard for me to read your comments, but I appreciate them. I've tried to adjust the screen and settings here so that I can see it properly, but I do appreciate it. I do see your chats coming in, and keep it simple, and I might be able to see what you're saying, but again, my apologies. It's getting old and getting old. Eyesight's getting bad on me, but we're going to do the best we can. Thanks for joining us. GT1. All I can say to your viewers is, man, grab your wheels. Come on out and join us. Like I said, we've Kevin Savoie has jumped in late, so we've got one of the Frenchmen in there. Kevin is one half of the French connection. He's going to be driving the Nissan R35. Kevin Savoie is racing out of Allardville, New Brunswick. So, good to have you in here. I was going to feature, as I did try in the first race we did in the feature race, I was going to spotlight a team and a pair of drivers. One half of the drivers not here tonight. So I am going to hold that feature off, and that was for Rolf Sport Racing. That was going to be John Sportelli and Sam Rolf. So we're going to hold that off. Going into Quali 2 right now. Like I said, Salem Montgomery Jr. has jumped into the fray. Salem is running a 575 Ferrari on Michelin tires, one half of Go-Go Racing. So, it is going to be interesting. I'm going to tell you right now, all the strategy these guys have thrown out there is pretty much gone out the window. It's going to be who is prepared for wet track conditions. If you're not, it's going to be a disaster for you. And if you are, you're going to be in great shape. Very tight grid, looks like there. Sorry about that cursor. Andre Prado in the pole at 146.956, and right behind him, but about a 1/100th of a second behind him, is teammate Brad Merys. Chris Moses really pulled out the stops there and pulled up to P3. Aaron Parsons, same with him in P4. Canavan in P5. Rally in P6. Those are all the drivers in the 147 range. Well, minus Andre Prado, who's jumped it up there. Now we're going to head on out to qualify, or to warm up. And this is a good indication. We've got a 70-degree track. Ambient temperature of 57 degrees. Good, cool track. This is what these drivers are looking for. Let's just jump on board. As I said, we may have Mr. White viewing, and I think Alex said his dad is down under. Not living far from our wonder from down under, Aaron Parsons, on board with Alex White. And as usual, Alex has got some tricky little start maneuvers. He has let the cat out of the bag a couple times, but I don't know if anybody's been able to duplicate what this guy does at the start, but he is pretty quick at getting off the start line. And this warm-up is a great opportunity for these guys to get out, get an idea of pre-race track conditions. Although coming off of the wet quality track onto this, there is not going to be much rubber down on the track for these guys to get grip. So the start is going to be interesting to see who can hang on and who's going to lose it, and if we end up with a schmozzle and debacle at the start. Always interesting in NAGP for the starts. It can be a little bit infuriating to watch your race sort of dissolve in the first turn, the first few seconds of the race, but let's hope they can all get off to a clean start. We got about 3 minutes. I'm just going to take a quick little break and leave you following around Mr. Alex White. We just followed Alex around the track and into the pits. So about 2.5 minutes left to go. A little shout out here. You know, NAGP is totally funded by donations, by drivers and viewers like yourself. So if you like what you do here, if you like to participate in NAGP, throw some money in, get your donation in. Don't hold back. The guys that do it are doing it for the love. They're not doing it to make money. And we need money to keep all the services running, up and running. Another little shout out to all the admins, Big Al, Chris, Brad Merys, Al and Brad do the Monday night broadcast. They do an absolute phenomenal job Monday night. So a big thank you to all those people, and again, I'd like to thank some of the drivers that have spent their time to try and help me become a back marker in GT2 Monday Night Racing. So, great place to be. We're only halfway through the season. There's still plenty of cars out there and plenty of room. Chris will make room for everybody who wants to come out and run. So, grab a wheel, grab a car, grab some action Monday, Thursday, or Saturdays. About a minute left to go. And we will be starting our 1-hour GT1 race at Mugello. It is 48 laps. It is a tight, twisty, off-camber, wide track. I think we're going to see lots of passing, lots of action. But some of these corners are quite tricky. Tricky 14, the Puccini. A tough one, and I think, again, number 12, the Corteo, is another one that's really tricky. The San Donato, after the first straightaway, is tricky to do. Very tactical, but you know what? The drivers like the course once they get into a rhythm. It sure is fun. I did some laps. If you've got GTR2, and this is one track you want to get out and try. laps just about done. Well, for you viewers, I hope the broadcast is stable tonight. I hope the sound is half decent, and if there's any drivers you want me to focus on, just throw their name up on the screen as bold as you can, and big bold letters would be good too, and I'll try and get them up on the screen for you. Getting ready to switch sessions, and 73-degree dry track and a 57-degree ambient temperature. Forecast for sun, conditions are sunny, and it looks just absolutely perfect. Okay, Alex, I don't think your dad would have appreciated that, but good on you. So, there we go. 87 degrees Fahrenheit. An ambient temperature of 76. Sunny conditions forecast. Just to run them down again. Andre Prado with the pole. Brad Merys in P2. Anger Racing 1-2. Moses in third. Parsons in fourth. Canavan in fifth. Rally in sixth. Andre Cole in 7, Big Al Merriman in 8, Rich Roman in 9, Ian Joliker up to top 10, Alex White in P11, Alex Scott in P12, Juan Monroy in 13, Greg Myers in 14, Marco Condi in 15. Good qualifying, Marco. We'll probably see you hanging around or pulling up to maybe even a top 10 tonight. Go for it. Andre Werner in 16, Lauren Weisman in 17, Gup Douglas in 18, Johnny McIntyre in 19, Marty Uren in 20, Mike Graytrix 21st, John Wathen in 22nd, Sam Rolfe in 23rd, Sergio Calderon in 24th, Chris Jackson in 25, Jacob Carpati in 26, Schuback in 27, and Christian Hamilton in 28th, and Kevin Savoy 30th, and Montgomery in 31st. So there you go. 30 drivers for tonight's race. Get the cameras all set up for you. Getting ready for the start of 48 laps. GT1 Mugello. Andre Prado on the pole. You keep your eye on Parsons and Moses here. And they are away. And Moses overtakes Brad Merys for 2, and Moses has got a heck of a run there on Prado. And looking on the inside, and can Moses hold it? They are holding on to it. A little bit of a bobble there. And Moses on the outside, and he's going to have to tuck in and settle for second. Rally has jumped up to P4. Merys in third. Rally fourth. And looks like the Wonder from Down Under in P5, followed by Canavan in 6. Andre Cole in 7. Roman in 8th. White in 9. Joliker in 10. Juan Monroy 11. Big Al in 12. Alex Scott 13. Connie in 14th. Myers in 15th, followed tightly by Rolfe, and looks like Savoy has put a bump onto Rolfe. Rolfe has fallen a few spots back. Marty Uren in 18. Schuback in 19. Savoy looks like he's coming up on the inside of Schuback there, and a slight bump there. He's going to push out to the outside. Schuback back to 20th, and Savoy takes that 19th. Wathen in 21st. Gup Douglas in 22nd. McIntyre in 25th. Sergio Calderon in 25th. Graytrix 26th. Hamilton dropped all the way back to 27th. Carpati in 28th. Werner in 29th. And Chris Jackson in 30th. Prado hanging on to the lead. Pressed by Moses. Saleen versus Ford. Down the straight. Prado, Moses, Merys, Rally, Parsons, Canavan. And Moses on the outside. And Prado swamping paint early in the race. Moses on the inside. Oh, and they are both off. Moses is swung around. Merys is off. Into the lead. Wow, wow, wow. Rally picks up second. Parsons in third. Prado back to fourth. Canavan up to fifth. Looks like poor old Chris Moses down to about 8th or 9th place. Cole in 6th. Roman in 7, Alex White in 8, Joliger sliding that big Aston all over the place in 9th, Juan Monroy in 10th, and Big Al Merriman in 11. Alex Scott in 12, Greg Myers in 13, Connie in 14, Lauren Weisman in 15, Marty Uren in 16, Sam Rowe 17, 18 is Kevin Savoie, Salem Montgomery in 19, Johnny Mack in 20, and there is Chris Moses. All the way back to P22, and he is fighting. He looks like he might have some damage there. Let's get up close and take a look. Looks like he's got a bit of damage there that's not going to bode well. Sergio Calderon up to 24th. Greatrix in 23rd. I mean, Greatrix dropped down to 24th. It's Christian Hamilton puts a move on him. Andrew Werner in 26, Thomas Schubeck in 27, Cup Douglas 28, Carpati in 29th, and Chris Jackson in 30th. Brad Merys out in front. Rally in 2nd. Parsons in 3rd, and Parsons in tight, having a look on the inside there. And boy, he is taking that inside corner away, and around he goes. Taking that away from Rally. Rally is hanging on. Oh, the same bump that Moses and Prado made. They are fighting hard here, folks. Aaron Parsons has finally gotten around him. But that has allowed Brad Merys to put on a driving clinic and drive away. My goodness. Parsons in 2, Rally in 3rd, and David Canavan right behind him. Canavan, but Prado pressing Canavan. We know Prado has got the pace. Andre Cole and Rich Roman. H&C Racing. And there's Alex White. Alex White into P8. The substitute driver for David Poole tonight. Joliker at P9. Off-roading it. Oh, and a terrible smash. That was Joliker and Juan Monroy. Looks like Joliker just lost it. He's going to rejoin way back in the pack. And boy, oh boy, he is sporting some heavy damage on that Aston. The back end is all smashed to bits. And off he goes again. So, all the way back to P22, 25, 26. Oh, and Schubeck loses it on the corner and gives it to him again. Poor old Ian, you are smashed to bits. Schubeck there. I'm pretty sure you're going to be sporting some damage there too, Thomas. Front end all beat to pieces. As Joliker is into the pits, Carpati in 28. Ian now in last place all the way down to the end. Oh man, that is a tough one. Back out in front, Brad Merys, Aaron Parsons, and David Rally. And it looks like yes, Merys and Parsons are out in front, and there's Canavan. Having a good look at Rally. And right behind him is Prado, and I wouldn't doubt that. these two drivers are actually going to be holding Prado up a bit because he had so much pace on the rest of the field there. Now, let's just hope that these guys got patience because we're way early in the race. We got 48 laps, guys. So, Prado in 5th, Canavan in 4th, Rally in 3rd, and Cole, White, and Roman. Big Al Merriman in 9, and Greg Myers in 10. Greg trying to chase down Big Al. Lauren Weisman up to 11. Oh, Alex Scott in 12, but Marco Conti and the Lambo screaming by on the inside. And can he hold it? And what a great pass by Marco Conti to take P12 away from Alex Scott. Boy, oh boy, that was a great burst of speed by Marco. Marty Uran in P14, followed by Kevin Savoie, one half of the French Connection. And in behind, we got Johnny McIntyre and Salem Montgomery and John Wathen. Boy, these guys are scrapping it out too. And I would think that that is Chris Moses up to P18. In behind these two. Let's jump on board with Chris. On board with Chris Moses as he looks for a way around. And there you go. Oh, and Chris puts it off the track. Loses 2 spots, 3 spots in the meantime, and going to have to make that back up. Sergio Calderon, I think, was the had gone off, and Mike Greatrix in 23rd, Gupper in 24th, Schubeck in 25th, Carpati 26, Jackson in 27, Juan Monroy down to 28. Juan had a bit of an incident there. Looks like we've got some smashed in bits of body work on that. Ferrari 550. Sam Rolfe in 29th. And Ian Jolger got his car back on track in P30. Brad Merys, P1. Let's just jump over the leaderboard. Sorry about that cursor, folks. Brad Merys, a 2.5 second lead over Parsons and 4 seconds between Canavan. But the race there, Alex White, Andre Prado, Rich Roman, they're all tightening up. Let's jump on board. Alex White. Andre Prado chasing down Alex White. Right in behind him. All the usual suspects I expected to be up and battling at the front are doing just that. David Rowley into P7. Andre Cole into P8. I got a ways to go to get up to Rowley. And Greg Myers into P9 chasing him down. Big Al Merriman, top 10. Got his eyes set on Greg Myers. Greg Myers with a McLaren having a look. Going to the outside. Having a look for the over-under. Andre having no part of it. Great defensive driving there by Andre. Holding his line. Not giving Greg much to look at there. Let's jump up and see Rally in P7. Hunting down Rich Roman Andre Prado in P5. Andre Prado hunting down Alex White. So you can see in the view up ahead, they're spacing themselves out a little bit. Alex White, David Canavan in P3. Parsons in P2. Parsons pushing hard there, heavy on the brakes. That is a tough corner, the Mussini. Well, there is no way our wonder from down under is going to let the instructor out of sight. And boy, Aaron sure is pushing hard. He has got that McLaren sliding all over the place. And Brad Merys in the Saleen. Brad's looking pretty clean out there. Merys 1, Parsons 2, Canavan 3, White in 4, Prado in 5, Roman in 6, Rally in 7, Andre Cole in 8, Rick Myers in 9. Great battle we got going here between Andre Cole and Greg Myers. Big Al Merriman keeping an eye on these two. Kevin Savoy in P11. Still got Big Al in sight. And there they are. The French connection. Warren Weisman and Kevin Savoy. 11-12. I wonder if we have team orders here. Marty Uren keeping an eye on that French connection. And Marco Connie in P14. Alex Scott in the Maserati. And he has got a great run on him. But can he hold it? Marco Connie has to check up a little bit, but he is. Alex Scott has got the position. And actually he pulled the same move that Marco pulled earlier. So the Maserati outbraked the Lamborghini. Great battle going on here. Well, knowing Marco, I was his teammate a few seasons back in the GT2. You can bet he is going to press to get this spot back, but that Maserati sure seems to have some great legs at this track. Oh, a little smoke, and has allowed Marco to close back up on the Maserati. And he does appear to be closing slightly. Johnny McIntyre has got these guys in sight. John Wathen. John Wathen in the big Aston. All over the back of McIntyre looking for a way around. Down the big straightaway. McIntyre holding the inside line. Wathen takes a dive to the inside and slides right by and hangs on to the pass. Great pass, John. And we've got one of the French connections off. That was Lauren Weisman. And Christian Hamilton is off into the kitty litter and mowing some grass. Down to P19. And that's allowed Andrew Werner. And the big Ford just storm on by. Chris Moses in P20. Trying furiously to work his way back up. Well, you can bet Chris is going to be working hard to get back up there. He sure had a bit of paint swamp on the first lap there with Andre Prado, so we'll have to wait and see what the CC committee has to say about that. Chris will a little bit of grass on his own. Cup Douglas in P22. Mike Graytrix in P23 and Thomas Schubeck in 24. Followed by Sergio Calderon. Chris Jackson in 26. Jacob Carpati in 27. And Juan Monroy in 28. Ian Joliker back in 29th. There you go, race leader. Brad Merys. Aaron Parsons in P2, still got him in sight. Just jump over the leaderboard and take a look at the gaps. Lap 10, Brad Merys, but Aaron Parsons is closing the gap down to about 1.3 seconds. And it looks like we have got a pointless scrap going on for 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's jump on and see what's up with Rich Rowland. It looks like Rich Rowland is under pressure by David Rowley in the Koenigsegg. Down the front stretch. And Rowley looks like he's getting quite the tow. Taking a look on the inside. And their contact there, and Rowley hangs on to it. I don't know how he did. It sure slowed Roman down. And there's Andre Cole right in behind Roman, and you can bet there's some chatter on that team channel, and Roman having trying to handle it. But he comes back out. He loses a couple of spots. Greg Myers, Andre Cole slide up. So we've got David Rowley in P6. Cole in 7, Myers in 8, Roman in 9, Merriman in 10, and Savoy in 11. And Andre Cole now putting the pressure on Rowley. I guess if one teammate couldn't do it, the other one's going to give it a try. Rowley on the curbs. Cole trying to take advantage, but really, that was a smart move to stay off his bumper and stay out of contact with him. Andre Cole coming under pressure now from Greg Myers. Greg Myers down the straight, grabbing a draft, having a look on the outside. Andre Cole taking a very defensive line there and hangs on to it. Great driving by Andre Cole to protect that line. It would almost appear that Rally is a little under the pace of these drivers here. Intense action. And going back a few spots here, we got Big Al Merriman being pressed by Rich Roman and Kevin Savoy. So a lot of action just from top 5 back. And we have got Rally has been passed by Andre Cole. And I thought that was only a matter of time there. On board with Greg Myers. Greg up to P8, hunting down Rally and Cole. Make a stick. David Rally holds the inside line, but has a little bobble, and Myers should be. Oh, contact. Rally and Myers. Rally to the inside over the curbs. And that has let Big Al get into the fray of this one. And there it is, Greg Myers and Rally. 2 wide. And Big Al is going to make this 3 wide as Big Al puts the power down in the Ford and takes it away from Greg Myers. Wow. Great driving Al. Holy jumping, this is exciting. But that's allowed Andre Cole. This battle here is, and Greg off the track into the kitty litter and loses the position. 2 spots, 3 spots. Puts Rich Roman back up in behind Kevin Savoy. And now Big Al is hunting down David Rally. Boy, oh boy, for all the pressure that David Rally's been under, he has been able to hold off a couple of big charges and lots of paint swapping going on by these drivers tonight. This is really exciting racing, folks. And we're not even halfway through. I am going to be totally exhausted by the time this one's over. Well, while we get a chance here, let's just run back through the crowd. Savoy in 9, Roman in 10, Scott in 11, and he's all over the back of Roman. And that Maserati power. Is it enough? We know this guy braked another driver earlier in the race, and let's see if he's going to try it again. And he is on the inside and trying it again, but just, oh my goodness. Couldn't hold it. And that's allowed Greg Myers up behind. Greg in another battle now. Well, let's try what we tried a little earlier. Let's try and run back through the crowd. Marty Uren in P13. Looks like he's got some clear road in front of him. Marco Conti hanging on to 14. Trying to get that Lambo rolling, and John Wathen in the big Aston hunting him down. Johnny McIntyre has got Wathen in his sights. And Lauren Weisman in P17. Salem Montgomery in 18. Just a couple out of the points, Salem. Christian Hamilton in 19. Andrew Werner chasing him down in 20. Got Douglas in 21. Chris Moses back in 22. Boy, oh boy. Thomas Schubeck in 23, Mike Gratrix in 24, Sergio Calderoni in 25th, Chris Jackson in 26, Juan Monroy in 27, and Ian Joliker back in 28th. Ian had a disastrous first lap, had to make a pit stop, definitely out of his pit window, so it's pretty much put him out of the race, but good on you for hanging in. Our hero in blue, Ian Joliker. Looks like Jacob Carpati has parked it. And there's your race leader, Brad Merys. But look who's all over the back of Brad Merys. The instructor has come under fire from the Wonder from Down Under. Saleen versus McLaren. Well, and having a good look on the inside, and Parsons just can't quite hold it. Not much fear here, folks. We've got two of our finest drivers out there running nose to tail. And these guys know exactly how close they can race with each other. Parsons on the inside, and oh, Merys takes a little bit of a bobble there, a little tap, and Parsons is away to the lead. Now, let's just grab on back to the leaderboard there while we saw that switch. And take a look, and Parsons already opening up a 1 second lead. Lap 16. We'll have to keep an eye on these guys to see when the pit window's coming. But as you can see, we've got a heck of racing going on from 6 to 11, 6 to 12. Holy jumping, these guys are racing hard. So, Parsons, Merys, Canavan, our Irishman, hanging on to P3. Alex White in P4. Great drive for a substitute driver. Andre Prado in P6. Andre Cole in P6, Rally in 7. Savoie has now got around Big Al Merriman. Big Al, 1/2 of PMR. Alex Scott in the Maserati in P10. Greg Myers into P11. Great braking on this Maserati. He's been able to close up really well, and it looks like Savoie has put it off on turn 1. Savoie now has to pick up in behind Alex Scott in the Maserati. And Alex looks like he's got his hands full there trying to settle that car back down. And it looks like we've got Big Al off the track there and got it back on. But that's going to allow Alex Scott to close the gap there, along with Savoie. And this is a heck of a battle we've got for 6th place. Savoie, Scott, Big Al. Penalty. Alex Scott closing up ground on Big Al. Down the straight. Let's see what Alex Scott's got here. Look on the inside. And it would appear that they are closing ground on David Rowley, fighting for that P7. Savoin's lost a little ground to this trio here. And Savoin now coming under pressure from Greg Myers. Rich Roman just keeping these guys inside the P12 and Mark O'Connie up to P13. John Wathen all the way up to P14 now with Johnny McIntyre in the P16. Good run, John. Marty Uren, keeping an eye on him in P16, followed by Lauren Beisman. Salem Montgomery, who's got Lauren in his sights and is pushing him hard. Salem Montgomery in the Ferrari 575. Andrew Werner in the big Ford. Christian Hamilton. Got Douglas, Chris Moses. And he just lets Schubeck just slide on by. Christmas. Not having a good evening out there, Chris. Car sporting a little bit of damage there. Mike Greatrix in P24, Juan Monroy in 25, Jackson in 26, Calderon in 27, Joliger in 28. Out in front, Aaron Parsons. We'd be getting near pit time, I would imagine. As I mentioned earlier, Aaron's won this twice before. They've run this track 3 times. He's taken it twice, so it's and he's running a 1:43.5, I believe. Wow. Race pace, fast lap race pace, and the last time they were out was a 1:43.4, so they're right there on pace. Brad Merys still keeping him in sight. Let's just jump over the leaderboard. Boy, Aaron has opened up a 4-second lead. This could put him into a fairly deep hole. He is going to need an excellent pit stop here to bring that out in good time and try and make up a little bit of time there. David Canavan goes 6 seconds back of that. Alex White, Prado, Cole, and Scott. So, boy, oh boy. Things are definitely heating up down there. We've only got 3 lap drivers there. Jackson Calderon and Ian Joliger. The rest are on the lead lap. And let's run through the field again. David Canavan in P3. Alex White in P4. Alex having a great run in that big Maytech Ford. Prado in P5, followed by Cole in 6, and Cole has just put it off the track. His corners, these off-camber corners are real tough. Alex Scott got his eye on him in P7. And Savoie, Al, and Greg. This is a great battle going on here. Rich Roman not far behind, just waiting for a little bit of a battle going there. And Marco Conti and Lambo's having a great run up to P12. John Wathen in P13, not that far behind, followed by Johnny McIntyre and Marty Uren. Here's another battle going on here for 13th spot. And right in behind them, and Marty, a little bit of a bobble coming off there, which will allow Lauren Weisman to get a good look on there. Let's get on board. Down the big start and finish straightaway with Lauren Weisman in the final pay position. Into the first corner, San Donato. Lots of rubber being scrubbed off here, folks. On board with John McIntyre. And Johnny McIntyre overtakes Wathen. And Wathen loses 2 spots. John struggling with the big Aston there. Weisman gets a sniff, and he is all over that. He wants a piece of this action as well. Whoa! Weisman up really, really close there, folks. Almost gave Wathen a love tap, a little taxi move there. Was able to stay off it. Marty in 14th, McIntyre in 13th, Connie in 12th. Johnny McIntyre, the end of the big straight. We got Wathen coming under pressure from Weisman. And Montgomery has joined the fray here. And Weisman up on the inside, and it looks like we have got a couple of cars that have got some frame rate issues here. On board with Weisman. As he's hunting down Wathen. It would appear Wathen might be suffering from some tire problems. At this point of the race, that car is moving all around on him. The back end seems to be very, very loose. Weisman trying to get that power down, and that's allowed Silla Montgomery to close the gap there. And boy, we can see up ahead there, all these positions are being hotly contested. Weisman on the inside did allow Silla Montgomery onto the inside, and the start, finish straight, and let's see, as Salem got it. Salem moving over to protect the line, and Salem has him. Can he hold it? Weisman a little overcooking it into the corner there, but good on you, Salem. Nice pass. Sail him up to P13. Let's jump up here, and Marty Uren chasing down Johnny Mac. Whoa, and Marty has a little off, catches a little tire off into the grass, and a little bit of bobble. Gives Johnny Mac a little bit of breathing room, but John's got his sights set on up ahead. Coming around on, I think it's Sergio Calderon. And Sergio, oh, and we've got some contact, and Sergio has gotten the worst of that, but that was Marty Uren. Marty down to P13 now. Lauren Weisman at P12. Johnny McIntyre at P11. Connie up to P10. I mentioned that earlier, folks. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes in the top 10. He was running pretty solid there. Big Al Merriman in the pits. Alex White in the pit. Andre Cole in the pits. We'll hang out here with our race leader and see where he comes in. Into the final turn. And he's staying out. The McLaren is staying out. And Merys is staying out with him too. Canavan into the final corner. And let's see what the lively Irishman is into the pits. Canavan has pulled it in. Fredo in the pits. Savoie coming around the final corner. Savoie stays out. Alex Scott dives in. Marco Conti. All the brakes glowing red hot. And Marco dives her into the pits. Johnny McIntyre into the pits. Thomas Schubeck. So we've got pit action underway. Savoie's back out. He stayed out. Canavan is back out. And Parsons in the pits. Well, this is going to be interesting here. Merys in the pits. It's going to be very interesting to see what transpires here. We got Parsons in the pits there. And we can just see the Celine down about 15 spots on pit road. And he's away. off the jacks. And he's away. Boy, that is going to put him well behind. Now, folks, it would appear, if I'm not mistaken, we are getting some rain. We are getting rain. What a game changer! Now, was it enough? Did they get the rain while they were in the pits? And what tires are they on? Wow. This, like I say, is going to be a game changer. Those earlier cars that pulled into the pits, if they had waited just a little longer, they would be on the correct tires, but I have a feeling that a lot of these cars are not. So, let's go back. We got Chris Jackson, Marty Uren, Michael Graytrix, Sergio Calderon in the pits. They will have an opportunity to grab the correct tires. Who is out on the wrong tires? And who is going to come in and grab the right ones? Now, Savoie stayed out. And he has now got a huge opportunity to grab the right tires. So, Parsons, what's he on? Let's take a look at his split times and take a look and see. And that is not a good indication because that is his pit time as well. Huge, huge game changer. Wow. This can be very, very frustrating, folks. Depending on when you come in, is depending on what you do for tires. Some of them are smart enough to keep your eyes on the temperature. And this is not what was forecast, but this is what we've got. We have got a wet track. And right now the track is damp, 101 degrees, 88. Parsons, Canavan. Now, has Canavan pitted yet? I believe he has. Does appear that he is having a little bit of trouble hanging on to this. Brad Merys in behind him. They are all going to be suffering. Yeah, there's about a 3-second difference on split times from dry to wet, which is about right. They're going to be about 7 or 8 seconds off. So, Parsons, jump on board, get an idea what the race leader sees. Very soft on the controls. The track is quite slippery at this point. Parsons, Merys, well, it does appear that Canavan has had a bit of an off and has allowed Parsons to get through, or no, has allowed Merys to get through. So, Parsons, Merys, Canavan, Alex White, Andre Prado up to 4th, Rally in 6th, Myers in 7th, Scott in 8th, Miguel Merriman in 9th, Kevin Savoie in 10th, Andre Cole in 11th, Rich Roman in 12th, wet corners. And Warner in 13. Weisman in 14, but he's going to give that spot up. Hamilton in the pits in 17. All coming back in. It looks for tire changes. Schubeck in 20th. Opportunity for Thomas to pick up some spots. Picked up 3 spots right there if he's on the right tires. Easy on the controls there, Thomas. But if he went in late enough to grab the right tires, he may have a great opportunity. Hang on to this spot. Chris Moses in 18. Lauren Weisman in 19. Wathen in 20. Hamilton out of the pits in 21st with Salem Montgomery right on his tail. Let's jump on board with Salem as he tries to hunt down Christian. Whoa, a little wide there. It is slippery. Juan Monroy in P23, Chris Jackson in 24, and Ian Joliker in 25, Sergio Calderon in 26, Matrix in 27. Looks like Marty has parked it for the night, along with Jacob Carpati. We got another one in. That's either Chris Jackson or Marco Conti. Mr. Parsons still out in front. Just jump over the leaderboard here and take a quick boo. Looks like we got Rowley, Scott, and Myers in the pits. Parsons, 10-second lead over Merys, and a 10-second lead over Canavan. And about a 40-second lead over Savoie, but it's Savoie and Al Merriman and Andre Cole. Let's jump on board with Rich Roman. Rich Roman in a McLaren F1. Rich is one half of H&C Racing, racing out of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And running 6-7 with his teammate, and just barely got in sight as Big Al Merriman. Big Al in the Ford GT1, one half of PMR Racing out of Lowell, Massachusetts. Big Al having a great race. PMR is in 5th place in the team championship, so they're really going to need these points here with Chris languishing at the back of the pack. Kevin Savoie up to P3, and you can see that rain coming down now, folks. Aaron Parsons in P2, and Brad Merys is taking P1. I think maybe Mr. Parsons might have had a let's go back to that leaderboard there. He might have had a quick off or gone in for tires. Let's just keep an eye here and see if he can close the gap there. But Roman and Canavan, they're in a bit of a battle there, so let's get on board with these guys. Roman and Canavan. And Canavan up inside to take the P5 spot away from Andre Cole. And his teammate Roman looking on the inside of that one. There's definitely no team orders here, folks. As Rich Roman is looking for a way by his own teammate. saying, let me through, and away he goes. Rich is saying, I can eat up that can of man, just let me at him. And that's Big Al Merriman jumping into the pits there. Puts Canavan in fourth. Tire selection here, folks. Tire selection. Kevin Savoy into P3. Parsons in P2. And Brad Merys out in P1. As Parsons got a sight on him. Parsons is going to want to get past this car here. All over the back of him. And away he goes. Sale Montgomery let him on through. But as Brad Merys got out in front, yes he has, 42 seconds, unbelievable. We're going back to some of the action here, folks. We've got Johnny McIntyre actually all the way back to P14 on board with Greg Myers. Greg Myers hunting down Alex Scott. Big Al Merriman. Alex Scott got him for Johnny McIntyre. And Gup Douglas up to P11. Way to go, Gup. Hang on to that car. Gup Douglas driving the Saleen S7R. Gup having a heck of a race tonight. Obviously made some great tire choices. Mark O'Connie in a top 10 there, a very smooth driver in the rain. Good on you, Marco. You taught me a lot in my first season here. Thank you very much. Andrew Werner chasing down David Rowley. Oh, and Werner puts it off into the grass. And back on the curb, a little bit of a bobble. On to the other. Rubbing the grass and the curbs. These curbs are probably going to be deadly slippery right about now. Gave Rowley a little bit of breathing room there. So it does look like we've got quite a bit of moisture out there. And I think the drivers that are going to do better on this are going to have to make sure they've got the proper tire selection and stay in the groove. Out of the groove is probably going to be a bit of a nightmare. Let's run them up for you. Oh, and Rowley has gone off. He grabbed some of the dirt. Werner can see that, but better not overcook it. Probably got enough here to get a bit of a run down the straight and close that gap. It looks like Rowley is searching for water there, so he might be top 10. And Gup Douglas in the P11. And Johnny Mack in behind him. Alex Scott in P13. Greg Myers in P14. Al Merriman slipped back to P15. Lauren Weisman in 16. Christian Hamilton in 17. Chris Moses in 18. John Wathen in 19. Salem Montgomery in 20. Thomas Schubeck in 21. Andre Cole in 22. Ian Jolicoeur in 23. Juan Monroy in 24. Chris Jackson in 25. Great Tricks in 26. Calderon in the pits. Marty Uran has parked it with Carpati. Brad Merys out in front. Let's jump over the leaderboard and have a quick look. We got Merys out in front by 45 seconds over Parsons. And about 20 seconds behind him is Kevin Savoie. But Canavan and Savoie look like they're doing battle here. Let's jump on board and grab some of this action here. Savoie being pressured by David Canavan. And you can see the rain is falling, making conditions very interesting. Let's get back for a little lap counter here. Lap 35 out of 40, possible 48. Well, we might not finish 48. It may go on time. And let's get back on with Savoie and Canavan. Actually, Werner and Conti are in a battle. And let's get on board with Werner. On board that big Ford Power. Closing the gap on the Lambo of Marco Conti. Catching a little bit of grass there. And that looked like Brad Merys up ahead and giving the flashing lights to Marco Conti. In and around Marco Conti. Good on you, Marco. Parsons well behind. Canavan in third. But Canavan's coming under pressure from Kevin Savoie. Savoie, one half of the French Connection. In the Nissan R35 on Michelin tires. A little bit of a slide there. And Canavan with a bit of a slide of his own up in front. And Savoie off into the grass. Prado in fifth. Roman in sixth. Alex White in 7. David Rowley in 8th. going to come. Oh, and we've got one of Werner under pressure here. Is Gup Douglas. Alex Scott in 11, Rally in 12, and Greg Myers in 13. Trying to get around Rally. Merriman in 14 and Johnny Mack in 15, and there's a good battle going on here. So let's just tag along with these guys for a little bit. As John McIntyre attempts to hunt down Al Merriman. He's going to creep forward a couple of spots here. As we've got Greg Myers trying to get in and by. But I think we're going to have to get up to the front of the pack, and let's just take a look at the leaderboard here. We're on lap 38. And Greg Myers has spun it. He spun the car. I didn't quite see what happened there. Sorry, folks. We just missed that as we attempted to get our cameras back on track. And that has allowed Rally to get out in front a little bit. And it looks like Rally has just put it off track. And David Rally in the gravel. And boy, he is working hard to get that car out of there. Oh, and he has got it spun around again and into the fence and costing him some serious aero damage. Finally got her back on track. What is definitely going to cost him some time there. He's going to have to settle down. So, Mr. Rally, settle her down. That lets Myers sneak away with P13. Al Merriman in P12, Kevin Savoy in P11. Having a run and no go. It would appear the track is starting to dry out a little bit. Savoy having a look at Scott. Savoy has got him on the straight. And Alex Scott into the pits. Al Merriman into the pits. Greg Myers into the pits. Well, it looks like we're into our final pit window. That puts Hamilton in 14, Moses in 15. Salem Montgomery in 16, Johnny McIntyre, and Rally back off again, and oh boy, that was another car that is, and another one. David has put the car there in a bad spot. Everybody's having problems around that corner. Out in front is Parsons. Brad Merys is in P2. So, something's transpired between with Brad Merys there. A tire issue, maybe? A pit issue? Let's just go see. We've got Canavan in the pits. Parsons out in front of Merys by 2 seconds. Let's jump on board with Brad Merys and have a look and see what he sees. And there it is. There's the view from the cockpit. in the Celine S7R. Brad Merys, the instructor, hunting down the wonder from down under. Coming around to Bucine. Still got a little bit of moisture out there. Brad grabbing a great draft. Having a look on the inside. And, oh, they are just, wow. What close racing action we've got going on here between these two phenomenal drivers, well matched, both in cars and skill. Nose to tail, folks. 40 laps in. This is exactly what we see at NAGP. There's great racing all the way through. So, you want to join us? Grab your wheel. We've got Rally is still off there cooking his car in the gravel trap. Well, never say die. Merys looking to get a run on Parsons. Actually, folks, this is a great example of one of the best tips I received from an instructor was from Brad on setting up for the corner to maximize your exit speed. And we can see exactly that Brad's doing that, and he has got a great draft on Aaron. Having a look on the outside and is pulling away. And Brad has done it. He has pulled a marvelous pass on Mr. Parsons. And away he goes to take first place. And it would appear that he might have a slight advantage in that Celine. They're both on Michelin tires. Merys 1, Parsons 2, Rich Roman in 3, Alex White in 4, with Gup Douglas up to 5, all over the back of him. And Gup having a great look on the inside there. Let's get on board here. Gup making the pass up to P4. Into the braking zone. Boy, good move, Gup. Gup Douglas in another Celine S7R. Pirelli shod. Way to go, Gup. This is a jump over to the leaderboard, and I'm just going to check everybody is out on track. We've got battles going on here, Savoy and Connie. And everybody is giving themselves, and look at that, Brad Merys has pulled a 4-second lead out there. Let's see over we're in lap 42. We are winding her down. Let's take a quick run through. Brad Merys, P1. Parsons, P2. Roman in P3. Gup Douglas, not far behind in P4. Keep it up, Gup. You're going to end up on the podium. And Gup takes P3. We've got a car off into the kitty litter. Gup Douglas into P3. Way to go, Gup. What a drive. Boy, oh boy, this is great to see, folks. That Celine is just rocking and rolling tonight on the Pirellis. Roman in 4th, Canavan in 5th, White in 6th. Good on you, Alex. I hope your dad got a chance to watch some of the race. Kevin Savoie in 7th, Condi in 8th. And Prado having a look on the inside here. And looks like he is going to make the pass. And does. Connie takes 8th. No, Prado takes 8th. Puts Connie back to 9th. Still a great race for you, Marco. Christian Hamilton up to 10th. Salem Montgomery in 11th. Great race for both these drivers. Alex Scott in 12th. And Big Al Merriman all over. Alex Scott. It's a drag race. And Big Al has got the slip coming down here. Going to the inside. And Alex Scott gives him the room, but Big Al taking it a little wide. Big Al off the track. Alex Scott has to check up. Good on you, Alex. That could have been disaster for both of you. Greg Myers in 14th, running pretty much by himself at this point. Chris Moses in 15th. Made his way back up from last. Getting the dip of the lights. Away you go, Chris. Ian Joliker in 16th. Johnny McIntyre in 17th. Andre Cole in 18th. Chris Jackson in 19th. Werner into the pits. Monroy in 22nd is parked at Sergio Calderon in 23rd. Raleigh in 24th. Wathen is parked it. Marty Uren is parked it. Carpati is parked it. And Brad Merys out in front. Brad Merys coming into some lap traffic. Well, this has been quite the battle, quite the race. Changing conditions. Let's just quickly go over, take a look. Track has gone from wet to dry. It's cooled off a little bit, but it is no surprise that the instructor has put on a driving clinic again. Brad having a great season so far. So, going to do well for Anger Racing. Brad Merys, P1. Lap 44. And Brad increased his lead to 14 seconds. There is some action going on back there, Brad, so we're going to cycle back just a little bit. We've had somebody else drop out. Coming up to a bunch of lap traffic here. This could be disaster. But Marco moves over. They give Brad the inside. And Marco might be able to take advantage of that there. Nope. Being the gentleman he is, he maintains his position. Good on you. So, Mr. Parsons in 2, Douglas in 3. Canavan all over the back of Gup Douglas. We're going to hang in here just for a second as they go through all sorts of lap traffic, but get through. But Gup is under pressure. On board with Canavan. And Canavan. Whoa! Looked like Big Al came through there. There is some tight racing at the end of this race, folks. So, holy jumping, there's a bunch of guys pressing here. Canavan pressing hard, but he is getting all sorts of grief from one of the other drivers. We'll find out if it's... No, I think it's Chris Moses. Chris Moses all over that. The back end of David Canavan and Chris in P15. Brad Merys still out in front. Aaron Parsons in 2. Gup hanging on to 3. On board with Canavan as he chases down Gup Douglas. Canavan and Lister on Michelin's. David Canavan racing out of Ireland, out of Derry, and giving Mr. Douglas all sorts of pressure. Straight. Not close enough to get a draft, but we'll see. Into the braking zone. Gup taking a really defensive line there and forcing Canavan. Canavan trying to do the over-under. Not enough as they come back to the left-hander. But Chris Moses all over the back of Canavan. Now we sure don't want to miss the finish from your race leader, but this is some great action link on, and I want to stay with it, folks. So forgive me if we miss the leader finish. But I think Mr. Merys has it well in hand. Always pop up there quick. There's Gup, Parsons, Merys. Canavan to the outside. Maybe just the run he needs to set that corner up a little better than Gup. But boy, Gup is driving a great defensive line here and not giving Canavan much to look at. But all looks good to me. I mean, it might be very frustrating for Mr. Canavan, but I don't see anything wrong with the way Gup is driving. Canavan having another look, but Gup closes the door. Some great racing here late in the race. My, oh my. let me just take a quick look here. And yeah, we are just about at the end of it, folks. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And Canavan has tipped it a little bit, but manages to hold on, giving Gup a little bit of breathing room. And I think that's all he's going to need. Brad Merys has won the race. Parsons in second. And Gup, if he can hang on, will take third. So the race is done. We still got to finish here with the final podium position. And even though Canavan had a great big slide there, it looks like, I'd say, if Gup can just hold it together for a few more turns. Whoa, big slide there. We've only got 2 more turns left, Gup. And hang on, hang on, hang on. Boy, oh boy, it is going to be a drag race to the... Oh, and Gup has got spun around. And it looks like the gentleman he is. David Canavan has let Gup Douglas take the 3rd position. Canavan in 4th. Good racing on you there, guys. Rich Roman in 5th. Andre Prado coming around to take 6th. Savon 7. Mark O'Connor's going to take 8th. Alex White in 9. Montgomery in 10. Big Al Merriman in 11. Hamilton in 12th. Scott in 13. Moses in 14. Ian Jolicoeur in 15. Well, hey, great racing. Sorry to race winner Brad Merys. Sorry I didn't catch you going over the start-finish line, but we had a heck of a battle going on there for the final podium position. Congratulations to Brad Merys, your winner. Mugello. P2 goes to Aaron Parsons. Great battle you guys put on. Great show for all of the viewers. And Mr. Douglas, congratulations on your podium, and good on you there, my friend from Ireland, for battling as hard as you did at the end and getting tangled up but giving Gup the 3rd podium position. So here we are, folks. Another race in the bag. Exciting as always. I am exhausted. I hope you enjoy the show. Remember to tune in Mondays. Tune in on Thursday nights. This is NAGP, North America's finest racing center. Join us next week, folks. Actually, next week is an off week for us, so we'll be off on Monday and Thursday, mid-season break here. So we will see you next time at the races 2 weeks from now.